right. What's up, YouTube? It's about 1 a.m. in beautiful Los Angeles, California. Make sure my audio is working. Yes, it is. So I wanted to take this time before I get to bed. I have some energy. I shouldn't be drinking this black tea right now, but it's going to help me talk with you guys more. I want to talk about some of the new equipment I got coming in. I finally have some updates on equipment that I ordered in October and equipment that I ordered in September. So let's go ahead and talk about that. The first thing that I ordered, which was in September, late September, September 28th, was the DJI Mavic Pro Fly More combo. And the DJI Mavic 4 Fly More combo comes with 3 batteries, comes with a carrying case, charging hub, car charger. And actually, it's a pretty good deal for how much these pieces cost individually. So that's why I went with the Fly More combo, because I'm going to take it with me hiking. I'm going to take it with me, traveling everywhere. I'm not going to take the Phantom 4 with me everywhere. It's too big and bulky. So I'm just going to rely on the Mavic Pro. So that's one thing I ordered in September. Next thing I ordered in October, as soon as it was announced, was the new MacBook Pro with the Touch Bar. Now, something I really want to talk to you guys about is what kind of computer I recommend you getting, because I get this email all the time. What is a good, powerful program for video editing? And because I do travel and work in different areas, I do need to have a very powerful laptop with me at all times. So let me give you the exact specs, because Mac finally allows you to customize your MacBook Pros. I remember years ago they didn't let you do that. It was just one configuration. Now, ever since the MacBook Retina came out, it's pretty customizable. So let's go ahead and talk about what I consider a very powerful computer. And you can get a similar build if you're on a PC. I'm coming from Sony Vaios and Dell Inspiron computers, which were not as powerful, but these were older computers in 2011. So let's talk about my setup that I've ordered from Apple. All right, so here we go. You guys ready? All right, so I ordered the 15-inch Space Gray. I'm sorry. I ordered the 15-inch. Did I order the Space Gray or the? I'm gonna check right now, guys. You know what? Why don't I just log in to my account so I can tell you what I ordered? Give me 1 second here. I'm looking up my order. I think I ordered the silver, which is basically the same color I have now, which is cool. Alright, so I ordered. Oh no, I ordered Space Gray. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy. Yeah. Okay, good. I was worried for a second. I thought I ordered the silver, and I'm tired of silver. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so this is what I have. I ordered the 15-inch MacBook Pro, the brand new MacBook Pros that were just announced in October from Apple. It's a 2.9 gigahertz quad-core Intel Core i7. We're going to talk more about the processor in just a second. 16 gigabyte, 2133 megahertz LPDDR3 SD RAM. That's very important. We'll talk about that too. It has a Radeon Pro 460 with 4 gigabyte video RAM. That's the graphics card. 512 gigabyte PCIe based SSD drive. 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports. Touch bar and Touch ID. Force Touch trackpad. User guide and country kit. All right, so let's talk about what the 2.9 gigahertz quad-core Intel i3 processor is. Now, I don't know if a lot of you know about processors, but this is very, very important. So I suggest that you take some notes. Now, if you break apart a processor, there are different components that make it powerful. We have what is called L1 cache, L2 cache, and L3 cache. Basically, what cache is it's like little bits of RAM for the processor. So, L1 cache, L2 cache, L3 cache. L1 cache is closest to the brain of the processor. L2 cache is a little further away from the brain. L3 cache is the farthest away from the brain. Now, to manufacture L1, L2, and L3 cache is very, very expensive. And what I mean by that is the higher the memory of these caches, the more expensive it is. So, let me get you the actual specs of the processor that is in the MacBook Pro. Because the processor RAM, as I like to call it, or the processor cache, is very, very important. Okay. All right. So let's see if they disclosed it. Okay. So I want to compare this. L3, 6. Okay. So currently what my MacBook Pro is right now, what I have is a 2.7 Core i7 3 megabyte shared L3 cache. The new MacBook Pro is going to have, oh man, why is it not displaying it right? Give me 1 second, guys. Forgive me. 2.9. So the higher the cache number, the higher memory in the cache, the faster your processor is going to access information and process that information. So if L1 cache was 8 megabytes, which is very, very expensive, and I don't think they have that out yet, the more memory the processor stores, the less time it takes for it to get the information. So it won't have to go to your graphics card, it won't have to go to your RAM or SSD to process that information. It goes quickly right to the L1 cache, right to the L2 cache, and right to the L3 cache. It doesn't go outside of the processor, and it doesn't go to the video card, it doesn't go to the RAM. It stays within the processor zone, right? That little rectangle or square. So, okay, so let's talk about the processor I got. So currently, yeah. So I ordered the one I ordered is supposed to have, I believe, 8 megabyte L3 cache, which is very impressive. Something I haven't seen in a MacBook or in a laptop for that matter. So, yes, 8 megabyte. So that's a big boost. Actually, what I currently have is 6 megabyte L3 cache. The new MacBook Pro is going to have 8 megabyte L3 cache. I know that number doesn't seem that big, but for when we're talking about L1, L2, and L3 cache, it's actually quite a huge difference. All right, so that's the processor. Processor speed jumped from 2.7 to 2.9, and that also means that there's turbo boost technology that goes up to 3.8. It doesn't seem like much, but it gives you a little bit of that extra boost when it needs it. Because currently right now my computer goes up to 3.6. The next generation MacBook that I'm getting goes up to 3.8. So that's what it is. All right, next let's talk about RAM. So previously, the MacBook I have right now uses 16 gigabyte RAM, right? Same as the newer generation. However, the newer generation is no longer 16 megahertz. So that is basically the processing speed of the RAM. How long does it take for the RAM to process information? It jumped from 16 megahertz to 2133 megahertz, which is quite a jump. It's a pretty good solid jump. So the RAM is going to be processing information faster and getting it ready to send to the CPU. So that's a very, very good jump. Now, I'm using Final Cut Pro 10, and even with 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is massive for a laptop, Final Cut Pro tends to eat up most of that RAM a lot of the time. I have to run a program that frees up RAM whenever that happens. But on the newer MacBook Pro that I ordered, I'm getting 4 gigabytes of video RAM, which means that you can add that 4 gigabytes to your RAM. So instead of 16, I'll be having 20 gigabytes of RAM, figuratively speaking. So basically, the video card is going to have its own RAM to access, which means it's going to be processing digital or visual effects a lot faster than just simply relying on going to the computer's general RAM. So if you don't know what RAM is, it's read-only memory. RAM is very, very important to process temporary information instead of going right to the SSD, solid state drive, which is the slowest form of memory. RAM processes and gets information to the CPU and GPU very, very quickly. But now that the GPU or graphics processing unit has its own RAM, that it can access and process information a lot faster. So if this is a little confusing for you, I strongly suggest that you go on Google and you look it up. When it comes to solid state media, it looks like it's the same, 512 gigabytes SSD. That number doesn't really matter to me because I always rely on external drives. I have an 8 terabyte drive, two 2 terabyte drives, and then I have a 4 terabyte drive and another 2 terabyte drive, and I have, I think, another 500 gigabyte drive. So I run through hard drives so quickly, guys. And because I also back up my footage in case of drive failure, which I strongly suggest you do too. I've had 3 Toshiba drives fail on me. So Toshiba, if you're watching this, you will no longer get my business. I'm going to stick to Western Digital. And so Toshiba failed on me, and Seagate. Stay away from Toshiba and stay away from Seagate. They make the worst hard drives. They're the least reliable. Both of them failed on me, especially Seagate. Toshiba one drive failed on me, but I think it's because I dropped it, but the Seagates just stopped working. So don't rely on Seagate, go with Western Digital. It's a little more expensive, but you're getting what you pay for. All right, so this is how you spell Seagate. Look it up on Google. They're a very big hard drive company. So stay away from them. Go to Western Digital. Way better. Western, let me spell it out for you. Okay, that's the company you want to rely on. All right. So now that we got that, out of the way, let me open up this part of the live stream to any discussion, any questions. See what you guys have to ask. I am very technical when I pick out my computers. MacBooks are no longer powered by a hard drive. It's all solid state memory, solid state, no moving parts, a lot faster read and write speed. You got Thunderbolt 3 ports, extremely fast transfer speeds. The only negative part is that you do need a ton of adapters. I already bought a card reader, a USB-C to USB adapter. I'm eventually going to get a USB-C to HDMI adapter. Like, that's the only negative part. But I can see why Apple is doing it. They're simplifying their design so they can slim down everything. We're in the modern age, postmodern age, and things have to be very, very sleek and very, very simple. Simplicity can actually open up a doorway to a lot of powerful elements. So simplicity is actually the new thing now. If you ever open up a MacBook Pro, what we call a motherboard in a PC computer, it's called a logic board in a MacBook. It's literally one chip. If you open up a PC computer, there's all these different components, going crazy. But if you open up a MacBook, it is so simple. I was shocked when I opened up my own MacBook. Like, it's literally just a little board. You got your processor, RAM, SSD. It's literally really, really tiny. Most of the body, the internal, is the battery. Most of it's the battery. The other part, I would say about a third of the internal is the logic board. It's very, very tiny. And 2/3 is the battery. So, and then you got your speakers, obviously, that take up some space. But, I mean, I'm shocked how simple Apple designs their computers. Really, really shocked. So let's go ahead and open up this part of the live stream to questions. All right. Oh, my neck. What do you guys have for me? Do you have any questions? Let's talk. Let's chat. Let's have a good time. I got to go to bed soon. Tomorrow is somewhat of a day off. I have to edit a Rebecca Black video, but it is somewhat of a day off. I think that's the only project I have going on tomorrow. So I'm happy about that. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, guys. The last couple of weeks have been crazy. So, yeah. But I think it's because the holiday season is coming up. Everything's calming down for a bit. Yeah. Alright, well, no one's asking any questions. I'm going to head to bed. Thank you guys so much for watching this live stream. I will talk to you soon. Good night. Australia, I have family over there. I try to visit every year in Melbourne, so I might see you out there. David staff, so thank you for watching this live stream, and I will talk to you guys possibly tomorrow. All right, peace.